Okay. Uh, by the board conducting the seminar, they have told me you stay put. So I'll be over here. In any case, I always like to connect with my audience. And I am going to talk about a roadmap for entrepreneurial education and the tools which are available to us to promote entrepreneurial education in higher education, whatever it may be. And sitting over here, I understood many of us are from the school also. So, entrepreneurial education need not be just limited to technical or managerial higher education. It can be even going down percolated to the school. We don't want all to be in a similar field. The globe has to be made up of various different workers, and hence I hope I get good suggestions. I'm an entrepreneurial educator, certified entrepreneurial educator. So it was a very big, difficult challenge for me to pick up a definition, and I finally decided, let me pick up a definition which prevails in our country, and that is given by Knowledge Commission. If you go through the definition, they say application of professional skills. Applications of professional skills, as well as you have to get money out of it and try to create some innovative and new products for the society and the well-being of social good. So everything, whatever I do, has to be included into it. So coming down to the dynamics of entrepreneurship. Now, if you see, wherever the level of the entrepreneurship of a nation is, we are governed by all these. The green portion is the school, the university, and the entrepreneurs. The blue portion is telling me the government, the policies which are associated, and this is the media, the business association, and the community at large which are going to play with it. So what are we doing is, we are trying to look into the various stakeholders of the entrepreneurial education. Who are the stakeholders? The parents, the college, the faculty, the educators, the alumni, the government, the funders, everyone, each and every one of us are the stakeholders of entrepreneurial education. And to my surprise, our university, our higher education does not cater to it. So what are the barriers for entrepreneurial education? It can be the mindset, it can be the cultural thought process of the nation. If I have my son doing an engineering and passing out of an engineering college without a placement, and I say the child is going to start his own business. The thought process which comes into the other mind is, he has not got a job. Job hi nahi mila. He is not employable, and hence he is thinking of starting on his own. We do not recognize the skill sets which are required for an entrepreneur. So cultural and social factors are also a lot over there, which play a very big motivating force for an individual to start on its own. Plus the lack of ideas, the lack of funds, the lack of opportunities, the lack of innovative tools available, the thought process, how to apply. So basically this is the process model of entrepreneurship education. I have an input over here. I define, I have a teaching process, and I get and certify a predefined output. What am I targeting to? See, whether I am creating an entrepreneur or an entrepreneur, it really doesn't matter, because in any case, the nation is going to benefit out of it. It is the good for the individual, society, as well as the nation, that you have entrepreneurial streak developed into the individual during the education system. So how do we go about it? This is what I have learned, researched, and put my thought process. There is no such framework which has been given by anyone. So maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's a research work. Please understand, this is what I have been trying to teach to my students. First, I do the awareness and inspiration. How do I go in with the awareness? You know, have an entrepreneur coming in, have panel discussions, have people of different sectors coming in and talking. Share their experiences, motivate the student. You know, the student is so moldable that, you know, he will say, think, oh, ma'am has given a good talk. This is a good field, I can go and do it. You know, and implement, try to copycat the whole thing. And you never know where the child's psychology is and it strikes him. So you can have a panel discussion, give the various opportunities, give options where are available for finance, where do you look in for, and just creating a awareness to the student that this is a platform which is available to you. In fact, in my experience, what I have done is, I have always told a child, look here, you are doing this course with me. I don't want you to become an entrepreneur. No. By the age of 40, 45, when you are relaxed and you want to do something different, please take this up. There is a scope. Then you will understand that, yes, I can do it. So this, you know, makes the student get more interested in the subject. One more drawback which I have seen through in my research processes, that in our higher education system, we don't focus on entrepreneurial education. Any person who has done MBA is made to give that or do that subject. No. Entrepreneurship is basically an application of total management. It's much more higher than your strategic management. What you are teaching with to the student has to be very clearly defined with the output. Why am I doing an idea generation workshop? What is my output? What will I want? What is my tool which am I going to use? Am I going to use a tool which is close to my heart type, or maybe a newspaper exercise and you do it? So you have to clearly define and modify the program depending upon the type of the student you have. Your 50 rupee game plan is a very good game plan, which gives a real on-the-job or on-life experience. Then coming down to practical experience and then the real-world experience. This way, you can have a robust entrepreneurial exposure given to the student. It's an experiential learning. We are not talking about some paper learning or a classroom method learning. We are talking about experiential learning when we are talking about this type of an approach.
Dr. Saxena, little fast because I think we are running short of time.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Any questions, please?
Yeah.
Ma'am, you said you would ask a student who is doing a course in entrepreneurial education. You would tell him that immediately after the course, he shouldn't start something or do something. Probably he should do.
He can. I said, don't take the course only because you have to be an entrepreneur. You can take up this course even if at a later stage of life if you want to become an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You have to be careful to not make entrepreneurship a default activity.
Right.
My experience with students is not yours at all in terms of their feeling about entrepreneurship as possibilities for the future. But I like what I see, I like watching your activities very much. But entrepreneurship within an institution is something that we must embed in everything that we're teaching across the institution.
In fact, sir, I would like to tell you, I'm a PhD in chemistry, having 2 patents, and I had got a scholarship from Bhabha Atomic Research Center, and today I am just focusing on entrepreneurial education because of my own personal life experiences which told me how many chances I missed out to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Probably we'll discuss about entrepreneurship just after this particular session, offline discussion. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saxena.